Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Cobra Kai Multiverse, Part 9. So in this timeline, the Miyagi Fang team would go back to their home universe in defeat, and Daniel would say that they needed another plan. But this is when Mr. Hun would speak up. He would say that he didn't sign up to fight, but to show Cobra Kai Mr. Miyagi a different way. So Mr. Hun would say that he was done, and he would decide to go back to his home universe. Daniel would try to convince him to stay. He would say that they needed him, but Mr. Hun would make up his mind. A portal would start to open, and Mr. Hun would decide to go through. The rest of the Miyagi Fang team would be disappointed. Daniel would say that Cobra Kai outnumbered them, and that they were going to need more help to take him down. Mr. Miyagi would agree to help. A portal would start to open, and Mr. Miyagi would want to go through. Daniel would ask Mr. Miyagi where he was going, but Mr. Miyagi would say that he was going to go get Sato to help them in their fight. So Mr. Miyagi would go get Sato. Robbie would get the idea to get Kenny, so Robbie would go to Kenny's house. Kenny would be surprised to see Robbie, and he wouldn't want to talk to him. Kenny would still be upset that Cobra Kai was gone, and that Terry Silver lied to everyone. He wouldn't know who to trust, but Robbie would try to convince Kenny that they needed his help, and after a lot of convincing, Robbie would finally convince Kenny to help them. Tori would go get Devin, and she would agree to help out. Bert would go get Stingray, and Stingray would be happy to join the fight. Sam would drive all the way to Aisha's house. Aisha would be happy to see Sam, and Sam would tell Aisha that they needed her help. She would explain everything that was going on, and at first, Aisha would be hesitant, but she would be happy to hear that Johnny and Daniel had teamed up, and she would agree to come back. And back at the Miyagi-Do dojo, Daniel would make a call to Mike Barnes, and he would tell Mike that they needed all the help they could get, so Mike Barnes would agree to help out. Johnny would show up at the Miyagi-Do dojo with Bobby and Jimmy. They would agree to help out. A portal would start opening up. Mr. Miyagi and Sato would walk out. Daniel would be happy to see them, and Chosen would be surprised to see Sato again. Sato would walk up to Chosen, and he would tell Chosen that he was proud of him, and that he was happy that he found his honor again. Daniel would be happy with all the new recruits, and the Miyagi Fang students would start training. This is when another portal would start to open. A Miyagi-Do Terry Silver would walk out. Daniel would be surprised and angry to see Terry Silver. Terry Silver would explain that he was from a different universe, and that he came to this universe to ask for their help. Terry would explain that a couple of Cobra Kai senseis from a different universe arrived in his universe and took over Cobra Kai in his universe, and now Cobra Kai was the biggest dojo in the valley, but almost everyone wouldn't trust Terry Silver. Only Mr. Miyagi would believe him. He would see good in Terry Silver, and he would try to convince Daniel to let Terry Silver join them. Daniel would be hesitant, but after a lot of convincing, he would agree to let Terry Silver join them. So Miyagi-Do Terry Silver would join the Miyagi Fang team. Another portal would start to open, and out of this portal, Kreese would walk out. Everyone would be surprised to see Kreese there, but Kreese would ask for their help. Kreese would explain that in his universe, he ran Cobra Kai with Mike Barnes, but then Cobra Kai Mr. Miyagi showed up and took over everything and kicked him out. Kreese would explain that he wanted to take down Cobra Kai Mr. Miyagi. Kreese would say that he didn't like it any better than they did, but they were his only choice. Daniel would be hesitant, so he would agree to let Kreese join them. So Kreese would join the Miyagi Fang team. Kreese wouldn't be happy that he was working with Mr. Miyagi, but he would remember that the enemy of his enemy was his friend. So the Miyagi Fangs would start training. Daniel would walk out wearing a new gi. He would say that today marks a new era of unity. He would say that some of them used to be enemies, but that today they were on the same side, working towards a common goal. So Daniel would give everyone a new gi, and they would continue their training. Another portal would start opening up. Mr. Han and Dre would walk out. Daniel would be happy to see them. Mr. Han would apologize for leaving. He would say that Dre helped him realize what they were really fighting for, so he agreed to come back. Daniel would be happy, and he would give Mr. Han and Dre a new gi. Mr. Han and Dre would start teaching the Miyagi Fang some Kung Fu, so that they stood a better chance against Cobra Kai. And that is where I'm gonna end part 9. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think will happen next? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.